weekend, the #1 team in college basketball, the Auburn Tigers, return home to Neville Arena to face a dangerous Arkansas team and avoid a letdown after a historic win in a 1-versus-2 showdown Saturday in Tuscaloosa.
All eyes of college basketball were in the state of Alabama. You got to play well early if you're going to win on the road. We played well early.
Janai Broome knocks down a 3.
As you would expect, Alabama came storming back.
It's game on here in Alabama.
That's how the #1 teams in the country should act. That's how they should compete.
#1 Auburn, they walk out of here with a big win.
We acted like we were the #1 team. We prepared like we were the #1 team, and we are the #1 team.
Thanks, Dan. So I was sitting courtside in Tuscaloosa. That was a great environment. Is this a great environment? Thank you. But this is the jungle, and I can tell you, this Auburn team is so special. Adjusted net efficiency, the best in college basketball in the last 25 years. The last team to have that kind of number was my 2001 national championship team at Duke. But the thing that's most impressive about this Auburn team was the brilliant defensive performance that Alyssa's going to tell you about that we saw in Alabama.
Yeah, Jay, when you talk to head coach Bruce Pearl, and he's been vocal about it this week, he says that Denver Jones deserves more credit for the defense he's been playing, not only all year, but in that game against Alabama. He was on tied sharpshooter Mark Sears, holding him to 4 of 17 from the field, and earned SEC Player of the Week honors for the first time in his career after that performance. When I talked to him today, he makes it sound simple. Follow the game plan and cut the head off the snake. Something that he takes a lot of pride in doing for this Auburn basketball team, and a reason why he came to Auburn to play for Bruce Pearl, a place he knew would challenge him in getting better defensively. And Coach Pearl says, yep, he is now one of the best defensive players in the country, guys.
Well, listen, John Calipari on the Arkansas side told us today that every game from here on out is an NCAA tournament game. They started 0-5 in league play, but they're 4-3 in their last 7. Jarlinardi has them among their last 4 in. A win that I would obviously dramatically improve their chances of making it to the big dance. Currently 31%. If they beat #1, they jump to 52%. Not much shift if they were to lose this game. They're 4-8 in league play. A lot of people think if they can win just 3 more games, they will be in the tournament. And Bruce Pearl told us today, if that happens, no one wants to face the Razorbacks.
I'm just glad I made it to the desk in enough time for the game to start, DP.
Well, you were in the midst of that crowd, which was stunned the last time they had a game here in the jungle on Feb 8th. They lost to Florida, just one of 2 losses on the year. A miss by Miles Kelly to start the game, and it's Arkansas ball.
Well, not only lost they, but they gave up 90 points on 13 made threes, and this is how Arkansas wants to play. They want to push the ball in transition, and a guy like Johnell Davis, not great at creating shots for himself, but when he can play downhill off the dribble penetration of Wagner, that's when they're at their best.
And Davis has been at his best of late, averaging 16 points per game in his last 6. Here's Broome, so good with his back to the bucket. Janai Broome, one of the candidates for not only SEC Player of the Year, but National Player of the Year as well.
That's the matchup nightmare with Auburn when they play 2 bigs. Adu Thiero, very talented and strong, but just can't handle the size and physicality of Broome down low.
And a jump ball. That was Broome who got his hands up there along with the other big, Dylan Cardwell.
And this is what you love about Auburn and Bruce Pearl. Bruce has always played inside out at each stage of the game of basketball, Division II and Division I. And it all starts with the guy who leads his team in points, rebounds, and assists. The National Player of the Year, in my opinion, thus far, Janai Broome. I think I rubbed people the wrong way by just claiming that out loud.
You're coming out hot early on with that take over Cooper Flagg.
Just the best player on the best team.
Here's Denver Jones, who Alyssa was talking about, terrific 2-way player, and right on cue with a 3. Jones is 50, a 3-pointer. He shoots 45% from out there.
He really found that swag in the second half of the Alabama game. Just started creating and looking for his own shot. Not only is he the best defensive player, but also a guy that can be prolific offensively.
Wagner can't answer. Broome with a rebound, averaging 11 rebounds per game, leading the SEC in that category, leading it in blocks as well. Heat check by Jones, missed the 3, and rebound Carter Knox. Arkansas lost at Texas A&M as the 3 goes for Thero. They also lost against Alabama recently, but were very close to winning both of those games against top 10 teams. This is an Arkansas team completely different in February than they were in December.
Well, guys, just going back to their natural position, as you see Nelly Davis right here with the steal.
And Davis on the drive, puts it up and in. Arkansas with 5 quick points to take a lead.
I was going to say, DP, great sign for Arkansas that Adu Thiero, a guy shooting 27% from the three-point line, knocks down his first shot of the game. And also Nelly Davis, he needs to get going offensively. That's what makes Arkansas special.
Turnover by Auburn.
John Calipari put his head down right there. Just because he's open doesn't mean just a careless turnover.
Yeah, Broom not paying attention that time, and Denver Jones not on the same page. Back-to-back giveaways. The Luka Doncic, the Laker thing is going to take some time. This still takes time as well. Seeing John Calipari over on the Arkansas sideline as the head coach after 15 years at Kentucky. I know the Luka thing just happened. It's going to take a lot of time. The Calipari thing happened months ago, but it's still weird.
It's all fresh.
So Auburn's already got 3 turnovers. They had 4 the entire game against Alabama on Saturday. Ivisic, a big reason for Arkansas's turnaround of late, missed the 3 ball.
Big thing for Arkansas is to take care of the basketball. They had 17 turnovers in their last game against A&M, and they gave up 22 points off those TOs.
Jones has it swatted. Ivisic second in the conference in blocks behind Broom. Shot clock down to 8. Kelly penetrating. Little out of control, but it doesn't matter. Banks it home to tie it up at 7. Kelly had 15 points against Alabama, 12 in the second half. Most of those coming at the free throw line. Defense by Auburn. They're an excellent defensive team, along with being one of the top offensive teams in the country. Knox with the mid-range jumper, and Arkansas back in front.
Knox, a guy coming off team high 17 points in his last game. Well, they got catch-and-shoot player, can knock down shots from the perimeter, can play off that dribble penetration by both Nelly Davis and Wagner.
Broom on the back down. He's an excellent passer out of the double team. What a skip pass to the open three-point shooter, Miles Kelly. A one-handed, left-handed skip on the money to the corner 3. Ivisic looking to drive on Broom. Tough shot. And an easy rebound for Broom.
Great job by Broom, staying home on that DHO, not going for that ball fake by Big Z.
And good hands by Wagner, got the deflection, but Auburn keeps possession. Kelly again, around and out for 3. Rebound Thero.
Driving.
Davis blows past his man. Thero penetrates, scoop, and score. What a shot.
Talk about the 2 best athletes on the court going against each other. Dylan Carwell right there against Adu Thiero. What an acrobatic finish. He gets a 10.
He's the leading scorer for Arkansas, 16 points per game at 21 in the win at Kentucky. One of the signature wins this year for Arkansas, along with a victory against Michigan. Like everybody else in this conference, playing an incredibly difficult schedule in conference and pre-conference. On the fall away, it's good for Denver Jones.
Not only did Denver Jones get the National Defensive Player of the Week last week, but offensively, he's really finding his groove. Had a lot of conversations coming off that Florida game about him not hunting the shot. But when he's aggressive off the dribble, it just creates a new dynamic for this team.
He had 37 points last week, SEC Player of the Week. Thero mid-range, short, and another one and done with Broom cleaning the glass.
And my whole thing, DP, just because you're open doesn't mean that you have to take it. Drive, rack the ball, play inside out. Thero's made his first shot from the outside. Doesn't mean he needs to take every shot from the perimeter now.
Broom with another good pass out of a double team. It was a touch pass to Moore, who knocks down the 3. Boy, as good as Broom is as a scorer, a rebounder, a shot blocker, his passing, Jay, stands out.
Just elite court vision. And if you're going to bring that double team, you better be able to rotate quickly off of it because he has the vision to see the opposite side.
He leads the team in assists as well as everything else. 4-point lead for Auburn. 7 minutes gone by. Wagner penetrates. Good seal by Ivisic. And it's a layup for Wagner. Both teams shooting right around 50% from the floor. Broom with 5 rebounds, 2 points, and an assist early on. Here's Broom missing the fadeaway. Davis up the floor. 3-pointer of Ivisic. Front rim and out. Jones penetrates, draws some contact, missed the shot. No fouls have been called yet in the game. Only one stoppage. That was for a jump ball.
This is where I think you need to get Ivisic with some drag screens, some secondary screens in transition.
Wagner inside at 10 on the shot clock. Again, Ivisic with the seal for Wagner to score.
Well, it's the second time Wagner has came off a ball screen and then came back to that strong side. And Ivisic doing a really good job of staying high off that screen and being essentially a screener on 2 Auburn players.
And we got some contact underneath, and that might be a technical foul because Knox shoved the offensive player after the whistle blew. The officials will confer. No technical has been called yet. They call the foul on Knox, and then after the whistle, a little extracurricular activity.
Yeah, we're going to see right here what happened with Carter Knox. His hands got tied up, a little push there. I'm okay with there being a no call there. I mean, this is SEC play. This is the play of the big boys, the best conference. And Janai Broom with the skip pass. If that double team comes, they're going to come in a hurry. And what a great screen there by Moore for Kelly to knock it down. And then Thiero, you talk about an acrobatic finish. Oh, we are
the
in
previous action is under review.
Miles Kelly. They also were looking at a shot earlier to see whether it was a 2 or 3, so it's a reason why it's a little lengthy. No call there, Jay?
Yeah, I think it's a smart veteran move by Kelly there. You see, is that a right arm? That right arm really isn't extended. It kind of traps the arm of Knox. Knox just pretty much tells him to get off me. I mean, in big boy conferences, I just call that a play-on scenario. Let's see if the refs agree with me.
And they just took a point off for Auburn. As we mentioned, there was a basket earlier that they were looking at as well as that extracurricular activity as to whether it was a 2 or 3 on a made by Auburn. And so they changed that to a 2, the basket by Moore. So we got the lowdown on the 3.
After further review, we just have a common foul on Arkansas. Number 11 will resume play without Auburn's basketball on the baseline at 13:34. 2-point shot, which is confirmed for Auburn.
All right, so no call after the whistle.
Yeah, they said it's too early in the game. Just let them have a play on. I mean, look, this is you talk about 2 legendary coaches in this league, John Calipari, Bruce Pearl. Cal has won a national championship. Bruce has won a D2 championship. They are one of the favorites to win a national championship this year. Intensity is going to be high. And also, you like that. If you're Arkansas, even seeing Big Z get in the picture there, he wants to smoke. You like that if you're John Calipari and his team. You want your team to have fight going against the #1 team in the country on their home territory.
2 winningest active coaches in the SEC in terms of conference wins. Year 11 for Pearl at Auburn, went to a Final Four in 2019. Chaney Johnson checks in and scores right away.
Look, if they're going to run a simple flex cut, you're going to have to meet Chaney Johnson with some kind of physicality here. And this is something that John Calipari has talked about, breaking the press for Auburn. They worked on this all day today, and they've talked about it all day long. A simple breakdown and how they're thinking about it.
Arkansas calls timeout. When we come back, Arkansas 3 career wins against #1. We'll look at when they did it to the Tigers. at home February 8th against top-ranked Auburn. Jabari Smith had 20 points, but Jalen Williams had a late bucket for Arkansas to tie the game, force overtime. Razorbacks win it 80-76. That was the night Eric Musselman ripped off his shirt as he was in the crowd with the fans post-game.
It made me not believe in his last name.
Very good. Arkansas that year also beat Gonzaga in the Sweet 16. Gonzaga was the top-ranked team going into the tournament. And Michael Jordan's North Carolina Tar Heels back in 1984.
Well, what's the recipe to beating a team on their home court, winning #1 in the country? Your backcourt needs to have a prolific game. That's not what Nelly and DJ Wagner had against Texas A&M, combined with 5 of 19 shooting from the field and 1 of 9 from the three-point line with 7 turnovers. But thus far in this game, 4 of 6. Both have found their rhythm early by attacking the rim. What a
defensive play by Richmond coming over for the block. Stepped out of bounds. Going to stay with Auburn, but good recovery by Richmond.
One of the things Auburn wants to attack is poor defensive transition by Arkansas. It's something they talked about today in their scouting report, but great job by Richmond recovering there with a sense of urgency for that block from the weak side.
1-point lead for Auburn, ranked #1 for the 6th consecutive week. That is a school record. In that 2022 season where they lost to Arkansas, they were ranked 3 straight weeks as #1. Broom missing from the perimeter, not a great shooter from out there. Richmond soaring to the rim and getting the slam. We've seen several times, Jay, Arkansas having easy lanes to the basket.
That's something Arkansas wants to do. They want to push the ball in transition. Just poor recognition and execution by Auburn defensively.
Underneath, good pass by Broom, but unable to finish at the rim was Johnson. So another empty possession for Auburn. And a foul here on the Tigers.
I'm going to tell you, Dave, Auburn does not look like they have a sense of urgency on the defensive end that we saw in the game against Alabama. Against Alabama, they were everywhere. They were running Alabama off the three-point line. Denver Jones did one heck of a job on Mark Sears, held him to 4 of 17 from the field, and also held a team that typically made 10 three-pointers per game to only 5 on 19% shooting. But so far in this game, their legs just look heavy. Nobody's communicating on the court. And they're not having a sense of urgency recovering.
Good hands by Auburn, knocking the ball away. Shot clock at 7. Davis lets it fly. No good on the 3. Rebound Pettiford. Pettiford stops at the elbow. And he's fouled on the play. He'll shoot 2. Got undercut on that attempt by Brazil. His first and the second on Arkansas.
Pettiford, one of the most exciting, brilliant players we have in the game of college basketball. No doubt, absolutely no doubt he would be a starter on any other team in the SEC or in the country. Scored their last 11 of 13 points in the final several minutes of that game against Alabama. Just a prolific scorer. Reminds me a lot of Brendan Jennings with the way he plays.
You mentioned that game. He also had big games against Duke, 20 in that game, 21 against Houston. Look at our McDonald's All-American Spotlight. That's what you're talking about, 11 points in that second half. Yeah. 1 out of 2 for Pettiford, 83% free throw shooter on the year. McDonald's All-America, just the 7th ever at Auburn. Most of the players that are on this roster were not highly recruited. They're transfers or guys who came to Auburn a few years ago, but Bruce Pearl and his staff developed into the talents they are now.
So it makes it hard about Auburn's defense. They switch everything because of their length and their versatility.
Shot clock inside of 10 again. Richmond to Knox, timer at 2. Knox got fouled by Pettiford, and that's 2 quick fouls on Tahad Pettiford.
Pettiford just misread that skip pass cross court. It was like a free safety. That was an easy steal. Clapped his hands because he missed it, but good job by Knox, not settling for the 3, and that's a great call right there on the arm.
Jay, you mentioned in the open about the great net for Auburn, best since your Duke team that won a national championship. You've been on the teams that are number one. You have big wins on the road. You come home against an unranked team. What's the biggest challenge to avoiding a letdown?
Well, you have to understand that every time you're going to play against a team like Arkansas, this is going to be their Super Bowl. This is going to be their big opportunity. When you think about the close losses that Arkansas has had, 3-point loss to Bama, 8-point loss to Texas A&M. They win this game, they're on the right side of the bubble getting into the tournament. But Bruce Pearl talked a lot today about what are we playing for. We're playing for an overall number one seed, and we're playing for our pride. And also the last time we played at home, we gave up 90 points to Florida.
Turnover numbers, alley-oop. Great pass by Davis and the slam by Richmond. Billy Richmond averages 4 points per game, and he's got 4 already off the bench. Meanwhile, Auburn gone about 3 minutes without a field goal. Trying to go in to throw it down that time was Cardwell, and he was hacked. Third team foul in Arkansas.
Auburn just being a little bit careless with the basketball so far in the first half. Great active hands by Arkansas, and John L. Davis getting out to find Richmond in transition. That's what Arkansas likes to do. They're good in the half-court defense. Over the last 3 games, been holding their opponents to 6 or less made threes on 30% shooting, and they would like to get out and run.
This free throw by Cardwell. Here's Alyssa.
You guys talk to anybody on that Arkansas team and you ask them who the unsung hero is, almost all of them say Billy Richmond. We need energy off the bench. We know number 24 is going to bring it. When you talk about his attitude and the way he approaches the game, they put it very simple to me. They said, he's from Memphis. He's a dog. That's how he plays.
Giving him some great lift here with Arkansas leading on the road by 2. 4-8 in league play, good for 12th in the league. 12-13 teams could get originally the free throw shooter. Jones put the defender down, missed the long jumper. Wagner lost his footing. How about Thier? Thiero's the leading scorer with 5 points. And you got 3 players with 4. It's a very balanced offense for Arkansas here in the first half. Shot clock at 5. Ball knocked away. It's going to go into the backcourt and be a shot clock violation.
Yeah, I don't know why Richmond let it go. He should have just grabbed it earlier. The ball was obviously deflected by Chad Baker-Mazara. Yeah, that's something to watch. Just watch the way DJ Wagner is always probing the floor, trying to grab a piece of the paint. He does it in transition since he's gone back to his natural position since Boogie Fland has been out as the point guard. It's just such an easier transition for him. He's a rhythm player, and it makes the job for Nelly Davis even easier as well because both these guys are back to their natural positions on the court.
He's had some huge games as a facilitator, 9 assists against Alabama, 8 assists in the win at Kentucky, 3-pointer off the mark from Baker-Mazara, but another offensive rebound for Auburn, but they get a turnover forced by Carter Knox. Davis dribbles it off his leg, but saves it before it goes out of play. Arkansas looking to add to a 2-point lead. 7.5 to play in the first half. Expected a much lower scoring game than we saw in Tuscaloosa. So far it's delivered in that regard. Shot clock at 5 and a traveling violation as Wagner lost his footing again. Back to Auburn in a moment with the Tigers trailing at home by 2.
Basketball, the best place on earth. And we're going to get a chance to see how Auburn played against Alabama. Look at the sense of urgency right here by Miles Kelly, chasing over the top. Janai Broome with a hard hedge, which forces Mark Sears to not shoot the ball with the thought of it being blocked. Look how they corral him. They force him back to his right hand, which is part of the scouting report. Even though he gets back to his left, Chaney Johnson from the weak side. Now watch Kelly again. Look at that sense of urgency coming out from the baseline. He's going to be able to turn the corner, but Chaney Johnson's going to get out there again. The switchability, the versatility. Switchability is a new word I just made up, and you're going to love it. Kelly gets back to his man. All eyes on the target. And look, Mark Sears with a fadeaway right-hand jump shot. That's why the SEC Player of the Year or a guy running for the SEC Player of the Year. Mark Sears was 4-17 from the field against the Auburn Tigers.
And since Denver Jones came back in this game about 3 minutes ago, Arkansas has been held to 1 basket. Now Auburn hasn't scored from the floor at all during that span either, and so that's why we're at 19-17. Let's check in with Alyssa.
Scoring for Auburn was something that Bruce Pearl was talking about to his team in that huddle, guys. He told us earlier today at shoot-around, one of Arkansas's more underrated parts of their team is how well they play defense. He must have said it 2 or 3 times to his guys. They're a good defensive team. They're a good defensive team. We cannot afford to take bad shots.
Arkansas shooting 50% from the floor. Auburn, Alyssa, 37%. Here's Johnson from deep. That's off target. 42% shooter in conference games.
Alyssa, to your point, Arkansas, talent on paper, a top 3 or top 4 team in the SEC. Talent doesn't always translate to chemistry and obviously continuity. And that's been a challenge for John Calipari and his team this year. Dealing with some injuries, dealing with some new players, finding that continuity and that rhythm.
Thiero on the drive with a shot clock at 5, falling away, knocks it down. You mentioned during a break, we weren't on the air, but you said about if Arkansas was in one of the other conferences, the ACC, perhaps what their record would be.
There's no denying their talent.
Pettiford hits a 3. First field goal in the last 3.5 minutes for Auburn.
Can't go under that screen if you're going to guard him. Got to go over the top, force him to his right hand.
He's hit 2 threes in this game. Check that first 3-pointer for Pettiford.
By the way, he is the most athletic player on the court. He has an incredible first step. Bruce Pearl and company talked about it all day today in scouting report. But back here, if you're going to guard Pettiford, you can't just go under that screen. He has the green light. I said before, he reminds me of Brendan Jennings with the way he plays. If anything, push over the top, force him to drive the ball with his right hand. He's going to bring it back to his left hand, which brings it right back into you as a defender.
Thiero at the line after the foul on Johnson is first. Thiero's 70% free throw shooter. Missed the first one.
Well, Bruce Pearl talked about that today, Dave, in scouting report about if you're going to guard him, you have to have active feet. You have to give him some leeway. If he settles for a jump shot, that is a win.
Missed both free throws. Arkansas is 0 for 4 at the foul line. Auburn not much better, 1 for 4. 1-point lead for the Razorbacks on the road against number 1. Auburn coming off that win as Broom with the slam. Pettiford the find. Auburn coming off that win in the first ever 1 versus 2 matchup in SEC history. Auburn put up 94 points in that game. They've had 9 games scoring 90 or more. 60 might win it in this low-scoring affair as Arkansas turns it over.
I just don't like the positioning of where you're giving Big Z the ball. And I know he can make plays, but just once again to show you the vision of Pettiford, that's what you want. Got away with dragging that pivot foot there with a little bit of a walk, but still incredible vision by Pettiford to find Broom. He's so shifty with the ball.
Pettiford, nice pass to Broom again. Excellent bounce, and Broom with another basket. 6-0 Auburn run. Six points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block for Broom. Thiero driving. Puts up an air ball. Ball pinballs back to him. Kicks it out. Ivisic wide open. Spins around and out. He has not scored yet, and he's been red hot, averaging 18 per game over his last 5.
Didn't really hold the follow through there for Big Z. Shot it like a slingshot. Haven't seen him do that too many times.
Johnson went for the dunk. Ivisic sends it back, and now he's going to get called for a technical foul for taunting. He was standing over him. Not a smart play by Zvonimir Ivisic.
Ivisic with 15 blocks in the last 4 games. Absolutely prolific.
You know you're going to get a technical. Why do that?
There's just no need for that. I mean, the block speaks for itself. You don't even have to stare down at it.
Especially in what is looking like a low-scoring game and poor free throw shooting so far. You're giving a 90% free throw shooter, Baker Mazzara, a point. Auburn scored the last 8.
I don't like the technical foul, and the usage has to be better. But I do like the fact that he is engaged in this competitive spirit of the game. Janai Broome, Chaney Johnson are very physical. They were taught today multiple times, you punish the chest of Big Z. So he's going to take some hits. And I like the fact that the big man is responding in his own way.
So the reason for the pause in between the free throws, a warning on John Calipari for coming outside the coach's box as he was having a conversation with Doug Shows, the official.
Oh, we still have coaches' boxes? those are still a thing, Dave?
So both free throws go for Baker Mazzara. It's a 9-0 lead over the last 2 minutes. And Novicic, his reward for that block shot is a seat on the bench after the technical. There was a Class A technical foul, so 2 free throws there, basically giving Auburn points with that great free throw shooter at the line. And Auburn has possession, but they turn it over again. That's really been the issue. 6 giveaways for Auburn in this game, 10 field goals.
Great play right there from the weak side. Bureau, like a free safety, read that pass, and Janai Broome slipped the screen.
Now we have an official timeout. And a substitution for Auburn. Bruce Pearl trying to get Denver Jones back on the floor. Pettiford to the bench. Arkansas has now scored in almost 3 minutes while Auburn's gone on this run and take a 5-point lead. 4 minutes to play in the first half. Wagner on the pull-up push shot. One and done again for Arkansas. And a great pass ahead, but it's knocked away at the last second. Good idea by Baker Mazzara.
Well, we talked a lot about Hereford and just doing it all with incredible court vision. Auburn with the 5-point lead.
The Jeep halftime report is on the way. Coming up, we'll head to Columbia. Wait till you see what Missouri is doing to Alabama. Plus a big bubble night for teams, including North Carolina. Coach, 9-0 run for Auburn. What's been the difference?
Auburn's cranked up their defense, their ball pressure. They're moving Arkansas away from the basket, taking them out of anything they want to run. And Todd Pettiford in that ball screen, absolutely destroying Arkansas on that roll. They've hit Broome and they've hit others to get guys right at the rim. Jay Will, clean up the ball screen defense, compete harder offensively for Arkansas.
I'm with you, Seth. I mean, it's when you start, over the last couple of days, I've been watching so much tape of Arkansas. Even in their last game against Texas A&M, I called Seth this morning. We were talking about it. They missed some free throws. They turned the ball over 17 times. They're in all these games, DP. It's a matter of cleaning up the small details of it.
Down 5 right now with Auburn on a 9-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 36 seconds. And a foul called here again on Arkansas. 15 foul. Let's check with Alyssa.
Jay, that's essentially what Coach Cal just said to his team in that last timeout. One of the things that he loves to emphasize, rebounding with 2 hands, catching the basketball with 2 hands. He said, we're down 5. We've missed some free throws. We're still very much in this game, but I want to see you finish with a rebound.
Jonas Adu just picked up his 2nd foul, so that won't help Alyssa. They're going to bring Novicic back in the game. He's a decent rebounder. We already saw the shot blocking ability, but also got the technical. They're standing over Chaney Johnson. One more free throw for Broome. He knocks down both of them.
Down the press. Put back. Being sharp with the basketball. A lot of unforced errors against A&M for the Razorbacks.
11 straight points for Auburn. Open up a 7-point lead. It's largest of the game.
They got to come off these pin downs looking to score.
On the handoff, Knox penetrates, hangs and finishes.
How athletic is he? And Chad Baker-Mazzaro was already there. Had position for the charge, but just great body control by Knox.
McDonald's All-America out of Tampa. Brother Kevin played at Kentucky for Coach Calipari.
And watch it, Mazzaro's there, and he goes up vertical, but just even incredible acrobatic move by Knox.
Broom backing down Ivisic. Misses the fall away. Ivisic clears.
That's great defense by Ivisic, just holding his ground.
And a turnover forced by Kelly. Gives it up to Broom, and Ivisic with another swat.
Uh-oh.
Firo in transition, hangs. Excellent defense that time by Chaney Johnson, and now an Arkansas foul.
Talk about having a big that can clean up mistakes. Just an unforced error there by Wagner. Ivisic getting back and just meeting Janai Broom at the rim.
And notice, as soon as he blocked it, he started to run down the court, didn't even look at Broom.
Well, that's the thing, too. Well, he should run down the court because he's a guy that can knock down trail threes in transition.
Inside 3 to play in the first half. Arkansas finally ending that 11-0 Auburn run. Now we have a kickball.
Pettiford, Seth Greenberg talked about it, about cleaning up that ball screen defense. If Ivisic is going to show that far, if they're not staying connected with Wagner coming up that screen, Pettiford is so good at changing speeds and changing angles, he's going to be able to split that at will. If you're going to hedge, if you're going to show, you got to show with sense of urgency.
Okay, Broom directing traffic. Now back to Pettiford. Baker-Mazzaro straight on. Misfire on the triple trot. Better defensive rebounding for Arkansas here the last couple minutes. Wagner from deep, way off the mark. Another rebound for Broom. That's 7. Broom for 3. No good. Wagner rebounds. A combined 4 of 20 between these two teams from three-point range. Wagner misses over Broom. Pettiford, pull-up three-pointer. Loose ball, tracked down by Jones. Broom spinning.
Great defense.
Another turnover by Auburn. That is 7 now by the Tigers.
Great job by Nelly Davis right there, even though he was undersized. Just getting up underneath Janai Broom and making life difficult.
They're almost at their season average, Auburn is, for turnovers per game. Firo driving on Broom, got him off his feet, but kicks it out. Wagner in the lane. And he's able to hit over 2 Tigers.
It's for the 3rd or 4th time Arkansas has been able to get into the paint. It wouldn't hurt them to utilize a ball fake, try to get an Auburn player up in the air. They've just been going straight up. You got to get Auburn off balance.
4-0 run by Arkansas after 11 straight Auburn points.
That's a win. I mean, that's a great shot, but that's a win. If you're Arkansas, you'll live with that.
Baker-Mazzaro on the fall away, his first field goal. Arkansas on the bubble. Joe Lenardi's last 4 in. A win tonight drastically improves their chances of making the NCAA tournament. Ivisic, air ball on the 3. Arkansas 1 of 9 from behind the arc. Ivisic 0 for 4. And on the year, he shoots 45% from out there.
Yeah, notice today in shoot-around, just really didn't have a lot of legs up underneath him, but I mean, the degree of difficulty here is 10. I mean, look, Chad Baker-Mazzaro staring down John Calipari. I refer to him as the Dylan Brooks of college basketball. He is the agitator. He is the guy doing all the dirty work. And it's the details of the game. Now, sometimes he can make some mistakes, but the way he plays, he always brings a level of 20. On the scale from 1 to 10, he is a 20 every single possession.
Well, he had been starting, but came off the bench the last couple of games, had 15 points against Alabama. There's another coach's box warning. So that's 2 in this game now, where they've told the coaches to stop leaving the coach's box. You think they'll listen?
Well, they told the coaches there's only allowed to be 10 players on the floor, not 12.
About a second difference in the game in shot clocks here at the end of the half with Auburn up 5.
Yeah, switch that.
Baker Mazzara, three-pointer, swishes through.
It's the second time he's done it. He made the fadeaway corner shot. He stared at John Calipari.
He just got a technical.
And he just made a very difficult three. I called him the agitator, the Dylan Brooks of college basketball. There's no need when you're standing in the pockets of the Arkansas bench to stare down everybody on the bench.
They already called Ivisic for a technical for taunting. So
and he got fouled there.
You're Baker Mazzara, you're asking to get hit with a tee based on how the officials are calling this game. And now Davis shoots 2 free throws, and he's an 88% foul shooter.
He's thinking about you were up 8 with a chance to go in a half, up 8. Now you have a chance. He makes this one here.
And Arkansas has possession, 4.9 left, enough time to get the ball up the court.
I mean, that's the swing of events here. I mean, he did similar things when Alabama got a technical foul for just things that he doesn't need to do.
It certainly was different than what Ivisic did, but just given how the officials have called the game so far, you're risking it. Entry pass to Adu. 2 seconds left. Brazil from midcourt. Rainbow just short. With Auburn up 6, Baker Mazzara off the bench, bringing the fire offensively, but also drawing a technical that gave Arkansas a couple free throws with 5 seconds left to pull within 6. Here's Alyssa.
Coach, single-digit game against number 1. What will you tell your team at halftime?
We can't foul and let them stay in the game with us.
Does a great job with his defense. They always do against us. And I just thought we slopped through some of our offensive thing. We missed some shots. I thought we got to work much harder to get and take better looks.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
All right, Alyssa, Dave Pass, Jay Williams. That's Auburn's side of it. What about Arkansas? What was John Calipari focusing on at halftime?
That you're in the sweet spot again. You're right here. We talked about them having a 3-point loss to Bama, an 8-point loss to A&M. Here they are down 6. They've held Auburn to 39% shooting from the floor. They haven't shot the ball that well from the 3-point line. They haven't been to the free throw line as much. But here they are in this game. They also forced Auburn into 7 turnovers. It comes down to the details and being able to execute in the second half. Arkansas has to find a way to close out these incredible quad 1 opportunities, especially tonight against the number 1 team in the country.
1 for 9 from 3, just 1 offensive rebound, -8 on the glass overall. Auburn had 7 turnovers, shot 39%. That's why it's only a 6-point game. Arkansas squarely on the bubble. Right now, Joe Lunardi has them among the last 4 in. Obviously, a win tonight against number 1 would be huge for their resume.
If you're Arkansas, you're down 6, and your best player, Big Z, has a donut in the first half.
He was 0 for 5 from 3. Broom with the lob, a little bit off the mark. And a held ball. It's going to go to Arkansas according to the possession arrow. Broom in that first half had 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Hero had 7 points to top Arkansas.
Think about that for Broom, and he didn't have an elite first half, right? But still have filled up the stat line. And you talk about for Big Z, last 3 games he's been averaging 21.5 points per game. You know, they need him to get going offensively.
Hero looking to drive, gets into the middle of the lane. Tough angle, and it won't fall. Cleared by Kelly for Auburn. Auburn coming off that win over then number 2 Alabama. Trying to avoid the letdown here at home. The last time they were home, they lost to Florida. One of just 2 losses on the year.
What a recovery by Knox.
Bruce Pearl thought there should have been a foul called on the Jones shot. Here's Knox mid-range, no good.
Good shot, but I didn't think Knox had to settle for that. He could have got all the way to the rim. That lane cleared up. I always say in the second half, beginning of the second half, how do you get a lather real quick? Everybody comes out, they shoot jumpers. Get to the rack, get yourself going.
Another offensive rebound for Auburn off the Jones miss. That's 7 now for the Tigers, and they get a second chance basket from Kelly.
Miles Kelly is so smooth. Gets to his spots, doesn't force action. There's always a threat off the catch and shoot.
Transfer from Georgia Tech. He was there 3 years before transferring here to Auburn. Shot clock inside of 10. Knox penetrates, hangs. Oh, what a shot off the window. Got a couple of those. Carter Knox coming off a 17-point game in a loss against Texas A&M. Fumbled away, almost turned over by Kelly. Jones looking to drive with the shot clock at 5. Leans in, goes to the left hand and knocks it down.
Talk about a step through right there with the left. Very Kyrie Irving-like.
And the lead is 8 for Auburn. Kick out to Davis, lining it up, missing another 3. Arkansas 1 for 10. Out of bounds, will stay with the Razorbacks.
I mean, what a shot right there. The step through with the left, waving with the left hand like Kyrie Irving. And then as a freshman, just bullying himself through traffic. It's about the 3rd or 4th shot he's made with a degree of difficulty of 20 at the rim.
He stays on the floor. Brazil and Ivisic check in. Here's Ivisic from deep. In and out again. No field goals in the game for Ivisic, who's been red hot for Arkansas. Auburn is not led by double figures, and it won't happen here. Missed 3 by Moore. Auburn 4 for 17 from behind the arc. First of 3 straight games here at Auburn. Georgia comes here Saturday. Ole Miss next Wednesday. Auburn still has to go to Kentucky and A&M, and they play Alabama at home in the last day of the regular season. And a foul on Broom. That's his first.
I got a chance to talk to Bruiser Flint today. He's the assistant coach for Arkansas. Go ahead, DP.
Real quick, men's college basketball SEC Network. This weekend, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Vandy, Florida, LSU. Gators currently number 2 in the land.
Trying to find a way to get Nelly Davis going. He's not a guy that's a creator off the dribble, but they have to run action for him. At times, he can get lost in the offense.
Entry pass, Knox with easy stuff. Good call out of the timeout.
Back to Nelly Davis, a guy that was in the Final Four. #1 recruit in the transfer portal, a.k.a. free agency this offseason.
Johnson gets a good look, can't knock it down. Backside rebound, Knox. 4 minutes gone by, second half. Arkansas down 6. Three-pointer, good for DJ Wagner. Shooting under 20% in conference games from deep.
But that's what you want to see from DJ Wagner. That's who he was in high school. If he went under the screen, he didn't think about it for 1 second. The shot was going up. Having to shoot that ball with confidence is key.
Razorbacks back within 3. Mazar's pass knocked away.
Hey, Knox is so active. He's everywhere.
Made the mistake, though, on that pass ahead. And Chaney Johnson gets it back for Auburn. Who will settle things down for the Tigers? Can they go to their All-America, SEC Player of the Year candidate, National Player of the Year candidate, Broom? Instead, it's Johnson on the low block, and he comes up short. Ivisic clears. Arkansas can tie with a 3. Wagner drives to the corner, Knox, and he hits it. We're all even at 37 apiece. 8-0 run over the last minute and a half for Arkansas. Freshman Carter Knox stepping up big for the Razorbacks here in the second half. Broom spinning and missed it, but it's batted in by Brazil for Arkansas. That's one way to end a 3-minute drought without a point for Auburn. Ivisic, step back three-pointer, and he's 0 for 6 from behind the arc. Broom beat Ivisic down court and scores with the left.
I don't know how that wasn't a foul. That should have been an and one by Janai Broom.
Bruce Pearl agrees with you, as we just saw. Janai Broom, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. Good hands. Kelly with the steal. They tried with the backdoor cut. Kelly coast to coast. Broom with the follow jam. Timeout, Arkansas.
By the way, if you're Cal, that's unacceptable. I'll tell you back coming from break, Arkansas just gave that one away. Points right here. This would drive me crazy as a player. Look at these players right here. One, you look at these players as you think about it. 1, 2, 3. Your guards who don't get back in transition. Watch as the play accelerates. Miles Kelly gets the ball half-court line. Slow it down. Look at this. 3 players that are barely in the screen. 1 player is still not in the screen. The ball goes up easy. Your guards need to get back and rebound. Janai Broom gets the offensive rebound. That puts him up 6. It's those little plays like that, Dave, where you're for John Calipari, you're going crazy on the sideline. Your guards have to show a sense of urgency getting back in defensive transition.
Not winning basketball plays right there.
Those are the plays that give away the games. When you're talking about the game being 2 or 3 possessions, how do you execute the details of the play?
And Arkansas just tied the game. Auburn with an excellent response, but aided there by the lack of defense in transition for Arkansas. So 6 points by Auburn in the last minute after the Razorbacks tied the game. Janai Broom with a double-double, the 16th of the season, 76th of his career, 12 points, 10 rebounds. He has as many offensive rebounds, too, as Arkansas does as a team. Wagner with a lob, Theo with a throwdown, Adu Thero with the basket inside.
Great execution after an ATO.
Makes it a 4-point game, 7 minutes gone by. Auburn's first game since it beat Alabama in the first ever 1 versus 2 matchup in SEC history. Move inside, no good. But the putback for Broom.
Also not a good sign on the weak side of the court. Nelly Davis rolled his ankle pretty hard. He is grimacing and limping.
Bill Richmond on the floor. He gave John Calipari good minutes, good energy off the bench in the first half. Thero looking to drive on the cross. Ivisic open 3, and he is 0 for 7 from behind the arc. He was 15 for his last 27 from 3-point range coming in. Missed 3 on the other end by Pettiford. Arkansas has wins at Kentucky, at Texas, against Michigan. They still have games against Missouri, Mississippi State, another game against Texas to try to improve their resume. Obviously, win the night would be their biggest of the season. We got a timeout on the floor. It's a 6-point game. Auburn in front. 8 minutes gone by in the second half.
Sean and Zubin here in the studio. Here's everything that's going on right now all over the ESPN linear network. Sean, Missouri scored the first 12 of the game against Alabama, and that's where the lead is right now.
Yeah, Mark Mitchell's got 22 points. They've got 17 points off of 11 Alabama turnovers in this game, keeping Alabama at arm's distance.
We'll see it for College Basketball Live on ESPN2 coming up after Gonzaga and Washington State. All
right, Zubin, Auburn in front, 45-39 over Arkansas. The Tigers #1 in the country for the 6th consecutive week, a school record. Their only losses, Duke and Florida, and the loss against Florida was the last time they played at home. And Arkansas beat Auburn a couple years ago when Auburn was #1. And Arkansas tied the game just a couple minutes ago, but Auburn with a good response to go back up 6.
Arkansas has been pretty good in this game after timeouts, executing the play design by John Calipari. See if they try to get something going for Z at the rim.
Instead, driving the lane and scoring is Richmond to make it a 4-point game. Richmond with 6 points off the bench. He averages about 4 per game. Had a couple of baskets in the first half. A turnover by Auburn. That entry pass intended for Broom. He thought he was fouled over the back. Thiero out of control. Ivisic gets on the floor. And on the held ball, it will go to Auburn.
It was great hustle there by Big Z, but the two freshmen for Arkansas, Richmond and Knox, have been carrying the load for the Razorbacks today, just doing everything they need them to do.
Richmond again providing energy, and Arkansas hanging around down 4 to #1.
Saturday Hoops on ESPN. First, it's a top 10 showdown in the Big 12. Then it's Blue Blood versus New Blood.
This is going to be a battle.
A Sonic Blockbuster Saturday on ESPN.
So you got those Sonic blockbusters on ESPN, Iowa State, Houston, Kentucky, Bama, surrounding Georgia and Auburn. That'll be the Tigers' next game. The #1 ranked team in the country looking to go to 24-2 tonight, maintain a 1-game lead over Alabama. It actually could go to 2 games if Auburn wins. Alabama at last check was getting blown out by Missouri at halftime. If Alabama were to lose, both Bama and Florida would be 2 back of Auburn in the loss column should the Tigers win for the top spot in the SEC.
Yeah, Mizzou up 12 right now, and got to give a shout out to Dennis Gates. He's done an absolute phenomenal job at Mizzou and just turning that program around.
Baker Mazzara, no good on the 3. Ivisic with a rebound. Let's check in with Alyssa.
It was just over at the Arkansas huddle, guys. The last few timeouts, Coach Cal has made an emphasis on physicality again at the rim when it comes to rebounding. Obviously, Big Z, not a good night from deep. They're going to try to get some stuff inside at the basket for him to get him more involved.
Well, they just got the defensive rebound on the other end. Let's see if they can get Ivisic involved here in this possession. Alyssa, no touch yet. Thiero taking it himself, missed the layup. Kelly, sidestep 3, in and out. Ivisic, another defensive board.
Just a bad shot. And it's, you push the ball down the court, you take a sidestep 3 with 3 seconds going off the shot clock. You know, get a higher percentage shot.
Oh, what a play by Kelly with the steal. Goes over the table. And a basket in transition by Baker Mazzara. Hopefully Miles Kelly is okay, and the fans are okay as well, as he went crashing over the scorer's table to save the ball. And now he's trying to save a fan. And he did.
You think Miles Kelly knows that he took a bad shot, and that's why he dove over the board? That's the kind of hustle that you need to follow up on the defensive end. He plays the passing lane, #1. Great job with the outside hand, and then the hustle to dive over the scorer's table directly into the chest of someone. And then the conversion on the offensive end by Chad Baker Mazzara.
Janai Broom on the bench. Arkansas trying to take advantage, but Auburn getting that basket in transition to push the lead back to 6. Midway point of the second half. Knox. Zara. 6-point game. Arkansas trying to stay within striking distance and steal momentum back. Thiero puts it on the floor.
That's a foul.
Hits the deck. We're going to call a foul on Johnson, his second 14 foul.
You can't put both of your hands on an offensive player and impede movement. And he got his arm hooked. That's a foul.
Well, he got the call. Side out, and that being the 14 foul. Lob to Avicic over his shoulder catch. Looking for his first points of the game. Instead, he stopped his dribble. Excellent defense in the half-court Auburn. Again on the drive, it's Richmond getting to the bucket.
Richmond has been able to get his way to the rim countless times. Great job, reverse pivot, and attacking that outside leg or more.
Richmond basically doubling his season average with 8 points so far in the game. Lob, throw down, Johnson. Cardwell with the dish. This is all happening, as you saw, with Broom on the bench. Auburn extending its lead. Davis penetrates and kicks. Shot clock at 5. Good hands by Moore to strip it away. Avicic turns it over. Baker Mazzara looking to take Avicic one-on-one. Tries a step back three. In and out. Trying to save it is Jones. Out of bounds to Arkansas.
Auburn just being very physical, getting in the chest of Big C, creating the turnover. And it's what you like by Dylan Cardwell. You reach, he teaches, catches the ball, turns, spaces. That's right, big man. You show the vision. He's doing it all. And Chaney Johnson with the flush. Over. You would think DJ Wagner, no doubt about it. That's the lack of hustle. This is the second time, Dave Pass, that we've talked about, where guards for Arkansas have not had a sense of urgency. It seemed like they've been a little bit lethargic in transition. Transition defense is something Bruce Pearl has talked about. And I'm not picking on anybody, but when you're in a dogfight, you don't give up easy transition points like that. You expect your guard to get back and create some havoc for Chaney Johnson after getting that steal.
Auburn's had all of its fast break points in this second half, including that easy 2 by Chaney Johnson. But Arkansas only down 8 in a must-have for the Razorbacks, trying to get what certainly would be their biggest win of the season. Even though you look, got fouled. Bumped to the ground by Johnson, his third. Two of the top women's teams in the ACC battle tomorrow. Women's teams in the ACC battle tomorrow night on ESPN2 from Cameron Indoor. Duke currently ranked 11th in the country, 11-2 in league play, taking on Louisville, which is 11-3 in the ACC.
Duke coming off that loss against Neil Ivey and Notre Dame the other night. I tell you, Neil Ivey has done an incredible job filling in the shoes of Coach McGraw. I mean, it's incredible to watch.
Meanwhile, Broom back on the floor. He was on the bench for 4.5 minutes. Thiero missed the 3. Arkansas 3 for 17 from 3. Auburn 4 for 22. Auburn hasn't made a 3 this half, yet has a 6-point lead. In the high post. I'm with you. Should have been a side out. 6-point lead. Johnson completes the three-point play. That's the first attempt, obviously, of the half, considering that was Arkansas's first foul of the half. If they're down between 8 to 10, you're getting a lot of fouls to give down the stretch that they're going to have to take at some point. Wagner goes away from the screen, gets deep, banks it home, and an Auburn foul.
That's when he is at his best. And he can reject that ball screen, and he can get downhill and attack the paint. I told you before, he does a great job, TJ Wagner, of eating up the paint. And he has that strong upper body frame. He can finish through contact. Got hit about 5 times there on that play.
Kelly's first foul, 6th team foul. Wagner, 81% free throw shooter. Short on the free throw. And a foul on Adu reaching in. His third, 2nd team foul.
Davis, a topic that's always interesting for the SEC because of the level of the physicality of this league each and every night. There's a lot of fouling that's going on, a lot of banging of the bodies, but when you get to NCAA tournament play, the game is called so differently, and you wonder if that can potentially lead to the lack of success of the SEC because of the foul calling being different in the time.
Step back, Pettiford, no good on the three. Long rebound, Richmond gets it ahead to Thero, and Thero gets the dunk. Jones blocked it, but Thero still made the shot. The Auburn fans thought Thero traveled initially. 5-point game. Broom spins, has it knocked away, ends up in the hands of Johnson, who's fouled. That's 4 on Adu.
Oh yeah, he got away with the walk there.
So Adu picks up his 4th, 3rd team foul, and Johnson at the line shooting 2. Got another great college basketball Saturday for you. Sonic blockbusters on ESPN. Houston, Iowa State, top 10 matchup in the Big 12. Kentucky, Alabama at 6 Eastern time. And in the middle, number 1 Auburn. Second of a 3-game homestand taking on Georgia at 4 Eastern time.
We'll be at Houston for College Game Day, get a chance to see those prolific guards. I think that game is going to be an absolute classic. You talk about backcourts that can do it all. Both teams, exceptional basketball teams in college this year.
And year in, year out, Kelvin Sampson, one of the best coaches in the country. They just won in Tucson at Arizona last Saturday and then beat Arizona State last night. Went home in between. Obviously in the Big 12 with expansion, getting used to the new teams involved, but Kelvin Sampson elected to go home to Houston in between the 2 games. And it seemed to work. They smoked ASU last night. 55-49, 5.5 to go. Auburn in front. Davis hesitates and drives, pulls up and scores to make it a 4-point game again.
Melly Davis is so good at staying on balance. He has an 8-4 standing reach. And he's able to get to his spots and just raise up straight verticality.
Davis with the steal. Great anticipation. The slam on the other end. And it's a 2-point contest. Arkansas has made its last 4 shots. It helps when you're getting them right at the rim. They've got 9 steals in the game. Johnson driving. And he cans another one. What a second half he's had.
Been a lot of jump shots for Auburn, though. You'll like to see them play through Janai Broom.
Back to a 4-point lead for Auburn. 4.5 to play. Davis leans in, and a foul is called on Pettiford. That's his 4th, and it will be 3 free throws.
I don't want to see that replay. I want to see if Pettiford was vertical. That should have been a no call.
Pettiford definitely launches Davis does lean in and create contact, but at that point, wasn't Pettiford already in his space?
In his space, yeah. And it's a veteran play by Nelly Davis there to draw the contact. And you see that going away in the NBA, where even if the player's leaning, if you initiate it, it has to be actual contact. I would like to see college have the same rule. It's still a smart basketball IQ by Nelly.
With that made free throw, Arkansas just 3 for 9 at the line. And that's its first made foul shot of the second half. One more free throw for Davis. As Pettiford takes a seat with 4 fouls for Auburn, 17 fouls on the Tigers. Davis can make it a 2-point game again. (57-55) Auburn.
Once again, Broom being guarded by Avicic is a matchup I would attack. No way he can guard him down low on the post.
Davis called for the foul. Again, they've got 3 to give, so it'll be a side out of bounds. First foul on Davis. Broom hasn't had any touches the last few possessions. They've been playing more through Chaney Johnson, who's come up big. He's got 12 points. Oh, check that, 14 points to tie Broom for the team lead. Broom up top, hesitates, fires, too strong on the 3, and Richmond gets the long rebound. Arkansas can tie it or take the lead on a 3. Here's Davis with the blow-by. Attacks, missed it, Thiero underneath, and a foul on Broom that will send Thiero to the line for 2 free throws.
Well, Arkansas just being out.
Arkansas, which was number 2, first ever 1 versus 2 in the history of the SEC. But it's only a 2-point game right now with Auburn clinging to the lead. Let's check in with Alyssa.
Yeah, emotions were running high over in the Auburn huddle. Guys, Bruce Pearl and his assistant coaches hammering home the importance of 30 seconds at a time. Not fouling jump shooters and executing our offense. Towards the end of that timeout, he actually walked away from his team and said, talk amongst yourselves. It was Denver Jones telling his guys, they're only in this because we're letting them stay in this. They spent the final 30 seconds of that timeout coaching each other up, trying to motivate each other to hang on and build on to this lead.
I mean, listen, you talk about Arkansas, 3 of 17 from the 3-point line, has only attempted 10 free throws tonight. This will be the 11th. Big Z held scoreless, and we're in a 1-possession game. And to the point, Denver Jones leading that huddle out of that break. Arkansas shooting 54.5% in the second half.
4 for 11 at the line, though, after that Thiero miss. They will shoot free throws the rest of the game. 18 fouls on Auburn, just 4 on Arkansas. 1-point game with 3.5 to play. Arkansas trying to get a huge win for its NCAA tournament cause.
Give your guy the ball.
Davis gets the deflection and the steal.
You can't be nonchalant with the ball. Arkansas doing a great job with having active hands. Got to be sharp and precise with post passes.
Arkansas's last lead with 6.5 to go in the first half. All the way to the goal. Johnny Davis making it happen. John L. Davis on both ends of the floor. He was a Wooden Award preseason top 50. Grad transfer from FAU. Averaging 15 points per game his last 6. He's got 14 tonight. That quiets the crowd. Until that shot along the baseline by Baker Mazzara. Auburn back up 1. Two and a half to play. Davis leans in. Back rim, no. Broom gets the rebound, knocked away, but out of bounds was Davis. Auburn ball.
we're going to see Chad Baker-Mazara just being lazy with the ball. One-handed post pass. And then on the opposite side, Nelly Davis catching the ball off a curl and be able to get right into the rim.
Auburn with possession up 1, nearing 2 minutes to go. Johnson's got 12 second-half points. Backing down Thero here. Spinning, shooting. Back rim, no. Broom tips it up and in. Janai Broom, front runner for SEC Player of the Year, with a huge stick back there. Timeout, Arkansas.
For the SEC in the nation, in the history of college basketball. I talk about having 12 to 13 teams in. And John Calipari talked about earlier today, Dave. He was like, look, you could be 7-11, 7-10 in this league and have a legitimate shot at making the tournament. And he is absolutely right, which makes this game a must-win for them.
They have the ball, but they're down 3. They had a 1-point lead about a minute ago. They've been very good out of timeouts. Avicic for 3. Misses again. He's 0 for 8 from deep. That would have tied the game.
And we talk about that thing being all the way down, just not staying down.
.120 to go. Baker-Mazara one-on-one against Richmond with a shot clock at 10. Trying to drive on Richmond. Stops, gets fouled, and will shoot 2. Second on Richmond, 15 foul. Baker-Mazara, one of the best free throw shooters in the country at 90%. Well, Jay, Arkansas has been in a bunch of close games and lost them. Auburn has been in 6 really close games and won them all. 6-0 in games decided by 5 points or less. Most of those against excellent teams.
Well, a guy like this, Jay Baker-Mazara, a guy that's one of the most elite free throw shooters in all college basketball, finds a way and has a knack for making plays when it matters the most.
They beat Houston, Iowa State, Tennessee, all in close games. As we mentioned, if they win tonight, Arkansas goes up to 52% chance of making the NCAA tournament. With a loss, they stay about the same. Still very much on the bubble. Lenardi has them last 4 in right now. One more free throw for Baker-Mazara. Another big night for him off the bench, just like Saturday in the win in Tuscaloosa against Alabama. They've scored the last 6 points and lead by 5.
Game time right here. Need a bucket.
Thero, and they're going to call a foul, no basket.
And that's the right call. Chaney Johnson had 2 hands on Thero's back.
That's his 4th foul. It'll be a 1-and-1. It's the 9th team foul.
So right here on the cut, just 2 hands all over him. That is a foul, and that is a correct call. Thero, 70% free throw shooter, going to the free throw line right now.
He's 1 of 4, though, Jay. As a team, they are 5 for 12 at the line. That's the difference in a 5-point game. Gets the bounce on the front end of the 1-and-1.
One shot, man. Legal on the rebound.
1 timeout left for Arkansas.
Now if you're Arkansas, you got to get a stop here. You cannot give up an offensive rebound. Something Auburn's really good at. Everybody in the red jersey needs to box out, and they need to secure the defensive rebound.
To your point, 12 offensive rebounds in the game for Auburn. So just 4 for Arkansas. Under a minute to play. Auburn possession up 3.
Just need to remain disciplined. You don't need any silly fouls if you're Arkansas.
Shot clock at 15. Baker-Mazara has been the go-to guy here down the stretch. Broom setting the screen and rolling. Now it's Kelly. Underneath. Reverse layup. Falls off the rim.
Same team.
Out of bounds. Going to stay with Auburn. How that didn't go in for Kelly is unreal. That was 90% down.
What are we talking about? Securing the defensive rebound. Brazil knocking the ball out of Richmond's hands. Those are the little plays where you're just like, you got to secure that one. And that's communication. That's Richmond, a freshman, saying, this is mine. That's my rebound.
And Jay, they'll look at it, but as we just showed you, you're right on it. 2 Arkansas players touched it. It's not a matter of whether Arkansas or Auburn touched it. If there's an argument to be made, it's which Arkansas player touched the ball, because 2 guys had their hand on it. Regardless, it's Auburn ball up 3, and there's going to be about a 16-second difference between the game and shot clocks.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. It's Auburn ball, and that's something that you hear a lot of college coaches working on with their young players when they rebound, yelling out that the rebound is mine, I got it. I mean, look, this thing is halfway down. It comes out. Richmond grabs it, which you want, with 2 hands. That's what you want. And Brazil comes from the weak side and knocks it out of his hands.
Auburn ball.
Yeah, now that ball didn't go in for Broome. Clearly out of bounds off Arkansas. So now if you're Arkansas, you got 20 on the shot clock for Auburn. Do you play it out defensively, or do you foul if you don't get a steal?
I would play it out. I would stay disciplined. Once again, I would contest shots. I would force contested 2s and try to give nothing at the rim.
Arkansas has to foul at some point because they have a foul to give. We'll see where they take it. Only 5 team fouls, and there it is. They take it right there. It's on Chris Moore. Checked it on Brazil, his second, so it'll be a side out of bounds here for Auburn. Shot clock at 20, game clock 35.2. Bruce Pearl going to change the inbounder here. It was Johnson, now it's going to be Baker Mazzara.
Look for the ball to be in the hands of Denver Jones or Janai Broome.
It'll be Jones to start. Baker Mazzara fouled. And that's not what John Calipari wanted. He did not want that. He's upset that Thero fouled him right there. 1-1, 17 foul.
I mean, the whole game, the players have been very handsy on the perimeter. I'm not sure that really warrants a foul down the stretch, but like I said before, you can't put your hand in the cookie jar. You got to stay disciplined.
And it's also being smart as to who you're fouling. Baker Mazzara, 90% free throw shooter. Made 13 of his last 14, all 4 tonight. And he knocks down the front end of the 1-1, 4-point game.
Now you don't need a 3 here. You can come down and try to get something to the rim. Try to draw a foul, stop the clock, and get a quick 2. Extend
what
this
would
game.
you pay for an iPad Pro? I only paid $42 on Deal Dash.
Calmly buries both free throws. What a second half he's had off the bench.
This PlayStation 5 sold for only $50.
5-point lead.
And this smart charcoal grill sold for $16. And this Nintendo Switch sold for less than $20.
Let's
Deals like these and many more happen in the thousands of daily auctions on DealDash.com.
And then why isn't
All
Arkansas
offers start
fouling?
at $0. And remember, everything
Don't know why they didn't
must go.
foul
I got
in the
this KitchenAid
backcourt.
stand
Now they
mixer for
fouled
only
at 13
$56.
seconds left.
I got this barbecue smoker
It's a
for
5-point game. It
$26.
might be a 7-point
And you
game.
get a 90-day
Auburn
money-back
was
guarantee
tested,
with your
Jay,
first
tonight
purchase.
by Arkansas,
This
but
brand new iPhone
on
sold
a
for
night,
less than
and in particular in the
$42.
second half, where
And
Janai
this
Broome
DJI
was not a
Broom
huge
sold for less
factor.
than
Others stepped
$21.
up down the stretch.
It's little things. It's the foul on
And
Auburn's
shipping
best free
is
throw shooter in
always
Chad Baker Mazzara. As we see
Go to
Denver Jones go to the free throw
DealDash.com
line
right now and
knock
see
one
how much
down.
you can save.
It's coming down, then an opposite end. And Big Z taking an ill-advised 3. That's about a foot beyond the NBA three-point line. When all you needed is a quick 2. It's the executional details that have lost Arkansas this game.
No baskets in the last 3 minutes. They have a 1-point lead.
Get started at trustandwillow.com and make it count.
3 minutes to go, but no field goal six.
All the time.
Wagner misses. Rebound
CBS
Jones.
Sports HQ gives you a
And
snapshot of
Auburn,
all the sports that matter to
number
you.
1 for
When
the
you need your
6th
sports in a
consecutive
snap,
week.
find it on
Improves to
CBS Sports HQ.
24-2.
Anywhere.
12-1 in the SEC.
Back in
Potentially
Boise,
on
Idaho. AT&T game
whatever
summary.
happens
This
with
is a
Alabama, should
very
the Tide
close game,
lose
and
to
the
Missouri,
numbers
they
show
could be
it.
up 2
Turnovers
games
are pretty
over
much even.
Alabama and
Rebounding is
Florida
pretty
for the
darn
top
close.
spot in the
And man,
conference.
42-39.
Jay Williams and Alyssa Lang on Dave Pash, so long from Auburn.
Have to win this
Finding
game.
ways to win. That's
Give
what
their
Auburn
resume
does.
a nice polish.
67-60 the final. Scott Van Pelt, Sports Center. Up
It's
next.
high-level stuff every night in the Mountain West, and a lot at stake. More so, I feel, for Boise State here.
Yeah.